Tornadoes, plow winds, wildfires, power failures, or winter storms. These are just some of the emergency situations that could happen at any time here in Saskatchewan. And when a major emergency occurs, emergency officials may not be able to respond to you right away. In fact, the businesses we rely on, like grocery stores and pharmacies, could be closed for some period of time. We need to be prepared to be on our own for at least 3 and as many as 7 days. We have to be ready to look after ourselves until help arrives. There are a few easy-to-remember steps to help you be prepared. Assess and decide if you are at risk of being affected by those hazards. And if you are, add that hazard to your plan and prepare to deal with it if it happens. Prepare an emergency kit with the things you'll need. Everyone should purchase and set aside 7 days worth of food and water and 2 weeks of prescription medication, in addition to some basic comfort items. Your best protection in any emergency is knowing what to do before it happens. Develop a plan ahead of time. Inform everyone in your family of the plan's details. This will save confusion, distress, and time during the first few minutes and hours of an emergency, the time when key decisions need to be made. Get to know your neighbors. Develop a support network so that someone close by knows who you are, where you are, and how to contact you. Now that you know the steps, let's take a closer look at each one in detail so that you can be properly prepared. According to emergency officials, some of the major hazards in Saskatchewan are flood, wildfire, tornadoes, hazard material spills, and severe weather storms. However, many of them are specific only to certain areas. Depending on where you live, you may be at low risk of experiencing these hazards. For example, wildfires in north-central Saskatchewan. If your home is surrounded by trees, your home could be at risk. If you live in southeast, hundreds of miles from the boreal forest, your risk of being affected by a forest fire is low. However, grass fires can happen anywhere on the prairie. So it's important to determine for yourself whether the risk is high enough to prepare for such an emergency in the area you live. While there is little we can do about a tornado or a winter storm occurring, we can reduce the impact on ourselves if we take a few precautions. Your first step is to hazard-proof your home. Know where your electrical panel, water supply, and gas supply valves are, and know how to turn off the power, water, and gas in your home. This is not an area for experimentation. Check with your power and gas companies if you need assistance. In case of snowstorms, make sure you have a shovel, ice melting solution, and some warm outdoor clothing easily accessible. Consider setting up a contract in advance with a company for snow removal. It's all about knowing what to expect and thinking through what you will need to reduce the impact of a worst-case scenario. Since emergencies occur in various forms and intensities, and quite often without warning, each of us needs to prepare a kit ahead of time, stocked with supplies to sustain ourselves and our family. An emergency kit has 3 basic components: food, water, and material goods. Depending on how many people are in your household, you may find your kit growing to a formidable size. So suggested storage options include a suitcase or a clean garbage container on wheels. Since your emergency kit will likely be stored for a long time, you need to pack food that is non-perishable and requires no cooking or added water. Include items like canned beans, tins of stew or pasta, canned fish, crackers, granola bars, and canned fruit or vegetables. High-energy spreads such as honey, peanut butter, syrup, and jams are great additions to your emergency kit. Keep in mind any food allergies or medical conditions like diabetes, and plan ahead for substitutes. Most people can survive for extended periods of time without food, but not without water. Plan for a minimum of 2 liters of drinking water per day per person. Plan for an additional 2 liters per day per person for food preparation or for dish and for hand washing. Multiply 4 liters per day times the number of people in your home, then multiply that by 3 for a 3-day supply. Consider alternate sources of water for use in washing. Places like toilets, hot water tanks, and ice cube trays can yield several gallons of usable water. Of course, what good is canned food without a can opener? There is a lot more to emergency kit than just food and water. So here are some suggestions for some of the other components of your emergency kit. Manual can opener, dishes and cutlery, a flashlight and extra batteries, matches and candles stored in a waterproof container, a wind-up or battery-powered radio, a first aid kit, toilet paper, blankets or sleeping bags, a whistle, a pair of spare glasses, spare shoes, and instead of throwing out old clothes, consider adding them to your kit as backup. Identify any special needs you may have to address, things that are unique to you and your household. Don't forget to include photocopies of important documents like your passport, insurance policies, bank account information, family contact details, your last will and testament. How about including a recent photo of you, your family, and your pets? A 2-week supply of medications is highly recommended. Replace with fresh medicine once a year. And how about something to pass the time? A deck of playing cards, a game, or maybe a puzzle. Check your kit annually and replenish it with fresh cans, fresh water, and medicine. Set aside an envelope with a small amount of cash and leave that in your kit in case banking machines aren't working. And how about some pet food for your cat, dog, or other pet? They'll also need some water, so include extra quantities for them. Another great idea is to make a smaller, scaled-down version of your emergency kit for your car or your office. Add an extra bottled water, energy bar, and a few candles that provide a much-needed boost if you are stranded at work or in your car, or if you need to leave your house in a hurry or don't have time to pack. Consider all the members of your family when making your grab-and-go bag. Another good idea is to make photocopies of insurance papers, your personal contact list, and other important documents, just like you did with your home kit, in case you have to leave your home quickly. It's important to pre-plan where you are going in case of any emergency. While each emergency is different and imposes different challenges, taking a few minutes to develop a plan is time well spent. Practicing your plan will help expose areas where you need to make changes. So here are a few ideas to get you started. Deciding what's the most likely to happen scenario allows you to devise a plan to reduce the risk and prepare yourself. Next, take stock of what you have and what you need to acquire to be better prepared. Only you can know what you are capable of. Working through your emergency preparedness guide from Public Service Canada is a great start. Try to think of your own capabilities and your own special needs, then write them down and share your plan with your personal network. Everyone should make a note of where their windows and doors are located and decide how to leave if the normal route is blocked. It's not only important to plan how you'll leave your home, but also how you'll leave your neighborhood. Trees may be down or roads may be blocked, so alternatives should be considered. If you're forced to leave your home, where will you and your pets go? Plan with your friends and family to meet at a predetermined location in case you are forced from your home. In a disaster, you could lose touch with your family. Make sure everyone in your family or your personal network has the same out-of-area contact. This way, everyone has the same check-in person to make reunification and support much easier. If you are asked to evacuate your home, chances are you'll only have a few short minutes to put together necessities. Imagine how handy it would be if you had taken the time before to photocopy your insurance documents, your bank account number, your family contact info, and put all the stuff into a waterproof, sealable bag. Don't underestimate the importance of having copies of these documents ready with your grab-and-go kit. Let others in your family or your household know your plans. That way, they'll know what you plan on doing, where you plan on going, and who you plan on contacting. Keep in touch with others. It's crucial to staying safe and making a faster recovery after an emergency. A personal support network can assist you after a disaster happens. There should be at least 3 members of your network. Include trusted friends and neighbors, family members, or someone who lives nearby from your church or community organization. Choose someone you can check on shortly after a disaster. Agree to look in on each other. Share keys with your most trusted friend or neighbor. Agree on how you will contact each other after a disaster and work out alternate arrangements in case the telephone isn't working. Practice your network by using it when you go away for extended periods of time. People may have unique or special needs, so consider the health needs of all ages of your family. Some individuals may have unique mobility challenges that require specialized equipment or assistance. Pets can be the forgotten victims in a disaster. Make sure you have a pet carrier or a cage you can use to transport your pet if you are required to relocate. Be sure you have several days of food and extra water for your pet too. A collar on your pet with a license or ID tag will be helpful if you are separated from your pet so that you can be reunited with them easily. We cannot prepare for every possibility. However, by spending some time preparing ourselves and our family, we can be in a much better position to ride out the storm or wait until the power returns. By being prepared, we can get our lives back to normal faster and with less stress. So there you have it. 6 steps for preparing for the unexpected. Let's go over them again. Know the risks, develop a plan, prepare an emergency kit, make a small grab-and-go bag, set up a support network, and share and practice your emergency plan. For more information, please contact your local Red Cross Society, your local health authority, as well as your local emergency program coordinator. In Saskatchewan, you can also get more information from the Provincial Emergency Program, Sask 911, Public Safety Canada's 72-hour preparedness pamphlet, and your local emergency management organization. Don't waste any time. Get started on your 6-point emergency plan right away.